Hello, legends and super legends. This is Eldred here. Welcome to Veloharmony. Today I want to talk about how to select a group to ride with. I've ridden over the years with many different kinds of groups, and I wanted to use that experience to help riders of all levels how to select a group to ride with. You need a group that will basically meet your need at any given moment in time. So if you're a beginning rider, you want a group that has different speed limits. Like, for example, we have groups in our area that will list like 15 to 16 mile an hour average, 16 to 17, 18 to 20, and then 20 plus. So they have different speed groups depending on who shows up. Because just because they list the speed groups doesn't mean that you will have everybody that meets those groups. But the fact that the group took the time to list the speed groups is what you're looking for, and it gives you a clue that this group thinks about all riders and riders of different levels. That's the kind of group you want to gravitate to. You don't want to ride with a group that's going to hold you back. So if you're riding with a group and let's say you sprint and they whine about it or they complain, you want to find another group, because the bottom line is, even if the group's purpose that day was to go steady or go at a certain given pace, if you're not endangering anybody and you sprint, they don't have to follow you. So what are they whining about? So, I've ridden with a group for a while that one person will do the same thing, it's okay, but then when someone else does it, then they bitch about it. But they don't say it to your face because they know it's not a problem. I mean, you're not doing anything wrong, but they whine about it, they behave, you get attitudes, and you get little comments. I mean, like a bunch of girls. I mean, if girls are watching, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't even say that, because my wife always complains when I say that. Like if a guy is screaming or somebody's chasing a guy, he's running like a little girl, and my wife always says, why do you say that? So I probably shouldn't say that, but I'm just saying that it's almost like you're watching One Life to Live or All My Children instead of being at a group ride. So if you're with a group that has that kind of drama, forget them. You're better off. They're not making you better because they're holding you back. Your work away from the group is what makes you improve. You ride with the group so the group can bring out more. And if the group is not bringing out more than what you can do when you train alone, what do you need them for? So whether you're riding at 15 miles an hour, 17 miles an hour, 18, 20 plus, whatever, you need to ride with a group that will stretch you, that will teach you. You want to ride with people that appreciate you. If you don't feel welcome in a group, don't ride with them. Go find another one or put your own group together. Like, for example, my group advertisement that I put out, I basically specify that the Saturday ride, we're going to have chase backs, we're going to have attacks, we're going to have sprints. So people know. It doesn't mean that if you're riding at 15, you shouldn't show up, because we'll have different speed groups. And whether you're riding at 15 or 17 or whatever, from 15 you can attack to 18 or whatever, so that you learn. And then if the 20 plus goes, you stay at 18 or whatever speed you guys are doing, and then you meet at the regrouping point or at the stop. You want a group that encourages that. You don't want a group that will complain when you do the same thing someone else does because it's you doing it. So that means they got an issue, and that's their problem. They didn't work it out. You don't need that. You need to go ride and not worry about drama. So you want a group that is functional. You don't want to ride with a dysfunctional group. That's the best way I can put that. So if any of you are riding with groups where you don't feel welcome, don't ride with them. Go somewhere else. Ride alone until you can find another group, or put your own group together. Get a bunch of guys and go together, because you need to ride with people that will be competitive or will encourage you to stretch your limits, not people that will hold you back, because you can ride slow alone. What the hell do you need a group for to ride slow? You don't need a group to ride slow. You can do that on your own. I'll give for example. Last year I did the MS 150, and the group I rode with kept telling me to slow down. I'm like, forget you. I didn't pay $400 to come here and ride slow. I can do that for free. That was my attitude. They're like, you don't have to ride with me. I took off. And the people who wanted to stay with me, like 2 or 3 riders, we took off and rode off. Even towards the end of the ride, some guy crashed. I ended up helping the guy straighten his bike and everything. Got him going, and I chased back and pretty much finished with the group anyway. But if you're riding with a group that is not trying to get better, then they hold you back. So you need to move on. So yeah, keep that in mind. Regardless of your level, ride with people that have similar ambitions. It doesn't matter whether you're racing or not racing. You should be able to go out there and play on your bike and not have somebody tell you what to do. Oh no, that's okay, but this is not okay. No, anything goes. As long as you're not breaking traffic laws and you're not endangering the members of the group. If you want to sprint off the front of the group, that's your prerogative. Nobody's obligated to follow you. So if somebody's whining about that, you're riding with the wrong group, move on. Get another group to ride with, or ride solo by yourself. Because if the group cannot even stress you as much as your solo rides do, you don't need to ride with that group. They're too slow. So needless to say, this year I'm not doing the MS 150. I was asked by, I'm not going to name the group, I was asked by the group and I told them, you guys are too slow. And I did that on purpose. I wanted them to know, you're too slow. They're not even trying to get better. They do the same thing every week. They do the same thing every year. That's boring. Who's got time for that? Please. I want to go faster tomorrow than I did the day before. I want to go faster next week than I did the week before. What's the point otherwise? You need to continually strive for something better. So you want a group that will encourage that, a group that will enhance what you've worked on all week. And if you can't find a group like that, start a group. You can do your own. Get like-minded cyclists, because not everybody that ride bikes are cyclists. You want to get athletes. There is no athlete that will tell you to slow down. When you're going fast and they want to go, they will strive to go with you. They will go and work during the week so that next week they can go with you. They're not going to tell you to slow down. No athlete will tell you that. So when you have people telling you that, they're not cyclists, they're not athletes. They're just out riding bikes. They're not serious. So you need to select a group that will meet your goals, that will help you meet your goals. That's what I'm trying to get at. Don't ride with people that will hold you back. Ride with people that either are at your level or slightly ahead. You don't want to ride with somebody who's too far ahead, because then it can be demoralizing. Because you can go beyond your current level. But you want to use that as a goal if possible. But you want to ride with groups that allot for the different levels that people have, so that everyone gets a workout. That's the way I do my rides. Regardless of what pace you're on, there are some days where I will ride with the slower riders just to make sure they get their workout. And that's the way it's supposed to be. I mean, I get plenty of chances to ride fast alone or on the trainer. It doesn't really matter. It's not a need for me all the time to ride fast. But you need a group that will encourage that. We have a few groups in town. We have a group also in the Woodlands area. They have a calendar. I'm building a calendar on the Veloharmony site because I saw their calendar. I thought that was a good idea. I'm going to do the same thing. Each ride, every weekend, they go different places to start their rides. So they keep the variety there. And then they might have 2 rides on a Saturday, one at 7:30 and one at 8. And whereas one is for just steady, people who want to go steady. Still get a workout, but steady, not a lot of attacks and so forth. And then they have another ride where they say this is for road cycling competition. And it might be 40 to 65 miles depending on who shows up. That's the same way I list my ride, because it always depends on who shows up. But the point they make is, yeah, we're going to ride steady at the 7:30 ride, but you will still get a workout. If you go to the steady ride and you attack, they'll just let you go. They're not going to chase you, but they're not going to bitch about it. As long as you're not endangering them and you go, because if you launch an attack and you do an interval, they'll catch back up to you because they're probably cruising at 18 or 19, whatever they're cruising at. They'll catch back up. It's not a problem. They don't whine about it. They basically list the purpose of the ride. This is a steady ride to attract the people who's looking for a steady ride. But it doesn't mean that those of you who want to go more than steady are not welcome. And that's the kind of group you want to gravitate to. You don't want a group that's restrictive. And that group I'm talking about, the Woodlands group, they obey the traffic laws. They stop for all the stop signs. They stop for the lights, of course. And it does not detract from their workout. because once they get out on the open road, they have enough of a chance to work out. So I've decided that, I'm gonna mirror my rides and my group rides to where we emulate the stop for every stop sign, stop, the first person in the front put their foot down, just like the bike barn does. And I think that encourages safe riding, because I got a few questions a while back. The group I've been filming recently is not my group. It's just some group we hook up with. And so they're not a good role model for safety because they roll through these stop signs. And I even had to answer some questions here on the site from some legends and explain that it wasn't my group. So I'm going to be focused more on groups that set the right balance between a workout and safety, and set the proper example, and that are true ambassadors of the sport. I want groups that raise the bar high, meaning we're not going to celebrate mediocrity. We're not going to, somebody takes a little pull, oh, great pull. What's the point of that? Big deal. It's just a pull. He didn't win anything. I mean, come on. So I'm going to try to get people to get more comfortable with stretching themselves when they come out on the weekend. Do something more than they do alone, because that encourages them to keep coming out. So that's the kind of group you want to look for. You want to look for a group that will do more than you're doing when you're by yourself, because if not, then what's the point? If you want to socialize, yeah, you can have a ride on another day, or even for that purpose to socialize. But if you want to work out, you need to go with a group that emphasizes that this is a workout and anything goes. If you want to attack, you go. Nobody needs to whine about it. It's like it got to the point where some people were riding with were complaining too much, so I was like, enough of that crap. I don't have time for that. I'm a big boy. I ain't got time to worry about people whining. You got a problem, let me know. Let's work it out. Let's solve it. I think I've said that here on the site. If I put a video out there, you don't like it, tell me what you don't like. If I will look at it, take it into consideration, see if it works for the whole channel, and incorporate your views. It's the same thing I do. So what's the point of whining about things but not really saying what you want to say? Especially if you know that you're whining about something where when someone else does it, it's okay, but when this person does it, you got a problem with it. Well, it sounds like you got an issue you need to work out. It had nothing to do with me. And so, so I got too much going on to be worried about nonsense like that. So I've decided to speed up the creation of my own group and basically start visiting other groups that are safer and set the right standards. So I just wanted to make this video to reach out to anybody who's on the fence about joining a group, to just specify that you want to be comfortable riding around other cyclists. That's why I give a lot of tips in my group videos when I film them, to kind of let people know you don't need to be hitting the brakes. You need to be relaxed around other people. Maybe you start with 2 or 3 riders before you get into a larger group, and just be comfortable riding, because that's really good, because cycling is a social sport. But you don't want to ride with a group that is really not helping you improve, either by not being, the pace not being right for you, the pace being too slow, or the pace being super fast. If the pace is too far above your level, it just basically burns you out. So you want to make sure that you ride with a group that has different speed levels, and then you gradually improve and you can move through the different levels. You stay within yourself. I really encourage that when I'm out there, so that you're not overreaching. You want to be aware of what's going on when you're riding. You should not be over your limit all the time. Okay? So I just wanted to make this quick video about that. Leave your comments and questions below. But I think it's important that when you select a group, you make sure that that group is going to meet the need and the purpose that you have each time you come out. Okay? So no matter what, get out there and don't let anything stop you.